So we decided to take a weekend trip down to South Carolina. Now, we don't have a lot of time here with everything we have planned. We have a day and a night. Hopefully we can find some cool stuff in this short amount of time. I don't have a lot of herping planned, but anytime I can spend outside is a great time.
That's being impatient. Oh, he got it. Ah, it looks like a red belly?
No.
Plain belly?
No. You don't know what that is?
What is it?
The southern water snake. So we're out here checking the edge of this swamp, and I walked over to the edge and I noticed this guy. He was out cruising along the edge of the swamp. Looked like he was hunting for frogs, most likely. He kept dipping his head under the water and out of the water. So I sat there and tried to sneak up on him so I could grab him, which I did, and I'm glad I did because I absolutely love water snakes. Now, when I first walked up on him, I thought he was a cottonmouth because, as you can see, he's pretty thick, and cottonmouths are a thick-bodied snake, which is why water snakes can easily be confused with cottonmouths. But I quickly noticed he wasn't a cottonmouth, so I went for the grab. Now, like I said, I love water snakes. Normally, they're fairly aggressive when you first grab a hold of him. He did try to bite me a couple times. He's calmed down a little bit, but if you notice, he has not stopped taking his eyes off me. He keeps smelling me. He's watching my movements. Now, he's kind of flattening his head out. If I stand up, I'm going to stand up to try and show you his belly because he has a really pretty belly. But if I stand up and get over top of him, he might think of me more of a predator because I'll be taller. Now, when snakes, they get defensive, they'll flatten their heads out like the arrow shape or the diamond head shape that a lot of people think is makes a venomous snake. Now that's not true because all snakes, see, he's starting to do it as I stand up. All snakes can flatten their heads out to give a bigger appearance or a more threatening appearance. Now that does not mean they are venomous, but if I can try and pick him up without making him too angry, I can show you his belly. Look at the belly on that snake. That is a pretty snake. I love these guys. These are so cool. Check out that pattern on that belly.
So it's nightfall now, and we're taking advantage of the only night we have here to do some night herping. So we've got a chance to do a little bit of road cruising, but mostly we're coming out and we're walking around some of the edges of the swamp here and hope to find some snakes maybe coming out or frogs or anything like that. This is a crayfish snake. It is almost identical to the snake we have up in Maryland, which is the queen snake, but this snake here is actually a lifer for us. This is the first one I've ever seen, so it's pretty exciting. I'm going to give a nice shot here of the belly because this the belly is beautiful, and I'm sorry there's a whole bunch of mosquitoes here, so but check out the belly there. And this is a neat little snake. It is actually semi-aquatic, and its favorite food is actually where it gets its name from, the crayfish. So we're going to go ahead and take some pictures and probably get back in the car because of all these mosquitoes.
So we're out here road cruising, and we're in the middle of a swamp. Got a big pond on the left or right of us. A lot of swamp on the left of us. We're driving along. There are a lot of green tree frogs crossing the road. Now they are primarily nocturnal. They'll come out on nights this time of year. I mean, once it hits 70 degrees, humid nights, they'll start coming out on the roads. They're crossing this road to go over to this pond over here. We actually came up on a couple that was in amplexus right in the middle of the road. They kind of cling to one another, and that's how they'll squeeze each other, help squeeze out eggs, and that's how they fertilize. That's how a lot of frogs actually reproduce. But there's a green tree frog right down here in the road. I'm going to get up close to this guy so you can see them. They are a very vibrant, colorful frog. They have, hope he doesn't hop, but they have this white stripe that goes down their body, and a lot of times they have yellow flecking along their back and skin. This one doesn't. This one's just primarily green. They're a very, very pretty tree frog, but I'm gonna go ahead and help get this guy out of the road so he can be on his way. Come here, little buddy. Gotcha. So I'd like to call this guy a turtle, but he is nothing short of a miracle. We were walking along the edge of this and I saw what I believed was just a slider basking. So I walked up to it to see if I could get a closer look and noticed he wasn't running away from me. There's a reason for that. He has no face, which is amazing that this guy is still alive. So he has what appears to be gator bites on the top of his shell, very old looking, but his top beak and his eyes are missing. So it's fairly easy to see why he did not sense me coming. He's very responsive to, like, if I were to go in here and touch his legs or his front legs, there's no damage on any of that. He's just missing his top beak and his eyes. And it looks like it's an old wound that has healed over. So, I mean, there is nothing really I could say other than, you know, life finds a way. So I think we've bothered this turtle enough. He's clearly had a very hard life. I hope he does well. He's been doing well enough. His face is healed up since his wounds. So I'm gonna set him down and hopefully he finds his way.
So as Matt mentioned earlier, we only had a short time here in South Carolina, and something I definitely did not expect to see quite so many of are these alligators. So when I think of alligators, I think of Florida, you know, Everglades, that sort of thing, and them just being everywhere down there. But apparently they are just as abundant out here in South Carolina. Every park we've gone to, we've seen gators. So behind me here is a big one. He's just floating around, swimming, trying to catch some food. But they're definitely, like, I'm sure if you live around here, you're sick of seeing them, but I think they're awesome to see every time I see them.